Hello, sports fans. It is a tough day to be a fan, at least here in flyover country of Wisconsin. But that's why we always have the main man, the man of the Mafia of the Maine, the, the dean of all things sports, the godfather of sports debate. He is the one, the only AJ Bokine.
Yes, Wisconsin fans, I'm alive. After watching after watching that, let's call it what it is. Travesty. Yeah, that's nine.
Why was you were talking about the Badgers and BYU?
Yes, yes, yes.
And why use the word travesty?
Because they didn't play until the last like 10 minutes of the game.
Whose
They're
fault
like,
is that?
I don't know. I don't know what you can't place the bet. I mean, Tajay, if you're a Wisconsin fan, you got everything you wanted. Tajay had 36, Blackwell had about 20, and you still lost the game.
That's because they didn't guard anybody.
They really didn't guard anybody.
It was terrible.
It was.
They were getting layup after layup after layup after shot after shot after shot in the
I
middle.
mean, the one kid hit the three with about 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left. And let's call it like it is, Jack. If that kid doesn't get thrown out, they're probably losing him by 15, and not two, because that kid was killing him.
Everybody was killing them. They didn't miss from 3 point. It didn't seem like,
No,
and a lot of them were wide open looks, which is part of the problem,
that was
right?
part of the problem. It was a bad 2 day stretch if you're a Wisconsin man.
Damn straight. So, where do the two programs, Marquette and Wisconsin, go from here?
I think what I think Wisconsin's in better shape. To be very honest,
Why? Why do you say that, Age?
because you have your foundational pieces. You have Blackwell, and you won't have Tanjay, but you have Blackwell next year, and next year
In
you have a pretty good class coming in.
in theory of Blackwell, I haven't heard anything to the other side, but everything could change, right?
Yeah, in theory you have Blackwell, and
It,
and
have you,
Fryer Tank's pretty good. He's a freshman right now, but he didn't play much this year because obviously he had Tanjay. Well, we'll see what they do. He I think his style will now attract more big time talent because everybody likes to get up and down and shoot threes and get layups. So
Not his clothing style,
no.
his
But
style of play.
but they
Uh,
got they got Jackson Ball coming in next year. They got Zach Kinsler coming. Jackson Ball from Australia.
all right,
Kinsler
all
from
right, all right. You know who these guys are. Tell us a little bit about them and why you're optimistic.
well, Ball's like 6'9". He's a point guard. He's from he was recruited by Kurt Penny. He's from New Zealand, I think.
God, I haven't heard that name in 100 years. Kirk Penny,
Kurt Penny's on staff at Wisconsin.
is he?
He is.
Wow. Okay. Um, so if Blackwell comes back, Crawl is done with his 78 years at Wisconsin, so he's out of there. But Winter will be coming back unless he transfers, right?
I don't think he'll transfer. I think
I'm just
he's
saying,
from
with any player, you can say that. I'm not saying he's gonna, you know. So we'll just assume they're coming back, like you are. So
Blackwell. So let's put it this way: you got Blackwell Winter in the freshman class, in the freshman class next year. Theoretically, you got Blackwell Winter, Zach Kinsler from the Pier. So you pretty Daniel Freitag, the freshman point guard. So you have some foundational pieces there that you can work with.
okay, well that's good. That's more because you know this a lot more than the average Badger fan because you know all this stuff. What about so? I mean, if you look at it like this, last year when they lost Store, I was like, oh no, how they were going to replace him? They replaced him. It happens. Uh, Tanjay was much better. In fact, now going to
Much better.
Marquette, we got
You lose
Cam's
John
leaving.
Cam's a senior.
Stevie's leaving, right?
Stevie's a senior, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Joplin.
is leaving.
Yep. So with Shaka Smart's approach to not take transfers, how are they going to replace or not to go in the portal? They had one transfer who was pretty good. How are they going to replace what they're losing and even improve upon that?
Well, let's put it this way: you still got Chase Ross,
Mm-hmm.
still got Parham,
Mm-hmm.
you still got, and people forget they lost Sean Jones all year. So Cam Jones is not a typical point guard. Sean Jones was supposed to be a point guard. They lost him to a 20 CL. So
Okay.
he hadn't played all year long. So
Will he be back next year as a redshirt?
yeah, he redshirted this year.
Okay. And is he good, AJ? I don't know him. I'm not familiar with him.
He's solid. He's a true one. He's a true point guard. So
Okay.
it'll be good for them. And
Okay.
then if you're a Marquette fan, don't lose hope because this whole their key, and I'll say this as an in-state coach, their key to success will be getting some of these in-state kids.
Are the in-state kids good enough to help Marquette
Yes.
or Wisconsin on a
Yes.
national stage?
Yes. Yes.
You sound pretty sure of that. You didn't even let me finish my question.
On a national stage, yes.
Yeah.
I went to the Marquette camp, the Marquette team camp this summer with my team.
Mm-hmm.
And there are kids out there. I'm not gonna name drop kids because I'm not gonna put pressure on them.
Sure.
But there are kids out there who have been, let's just say, on the radar of Marquette, who are good enough and athletic enough to help. I think more so. I think Marquette's problem is they need to recruit some athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like some guys who can jump, and in-state kids too. Like they get all these kids from out of state. They need to, but like Shaka said when I met with them in practice, you have to be built for this style of program, like mentality-wise, because.
Well, is that style of program potentially successful? I mean, national championship or Final Four type of successful?
I think it's just a different way of going about it, Jack. I think,
But is it potentially? I mean, can he succeed as far as wins and losses in the Big East and on a national stage with that program? I don't. You know the answer. I don't.
I think he can. Keep in mind, you're only losing 3 pieces this year. Now, granted, 3 major pieces, but,
right?
but you're losing. So he went into Brookfield. Let's put it this way: he went into Brookfield, got Joplin.
Mm-hmm.
His key to success will be, can he get the kids from his area? Like, he's a Madison guy. Let's not forget that. So if he can get some kids like let's say a Wes Matthews, like a Jerome McNeil, some of those kids some of those, if you go way back in the day, Dominic James, if you can get that kind of era, that kind of glue era together, you'll be fine.
Okay. All right.
But same deal goes with Wisconsin. If they can get, the Wisconsin in-state kids to stay home, they'll be fine.
All right. Well, that's a big chore. Hopefully they can do it. What do you think about now? Let's get off of Wisconsin and Marquette. The tournament in general, the men's and the women's.
It's been good. Iowa State surprised me the other night. Not the fact that it won, but by the margin they won by. They won by 27 or so.
Okay.
So that surprised me the other night.
What do you think about McNeese State over Clemson?
Jack, I'm telling America right now, yours truly picked that game. Correct.
What about the coach? He's going to NC State.
No, I think that's a whole nother deal. You don't want to get me on that deal.
All right.
He reportedly have sex.
You say you don't want to get it, so let's put that off. Let's talk about the tournament. Forget that. Now, what do you see? The Big Ten's got some teams still in it, Wisconsin being the downer. What about today's games? What games today do you want to see? Do you think will be the best games to watch as a fan?
Don't be surprised, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Wisconsin guy, but I'm interested in the contrasting styles with Alabama and St. Mary's. St. Mary's plays a really slow tempo, like a really slow tempo,
Mm-hmm.
like drain the shot clock. Alabama likes to get out and run with Mark Sears,
Mm-hmm.
and it should be a good game. I'm currently have the Alabama, I have the Florida UConn game in the background. I'm not surprised it's a good game.
Do you think
Yeah,
do you think Baylor can give Duke any trouble?
no, no.
Okay, that was pretty quick. Um, what about what's your prediction for the game you were just watching when we came on? UConn and Florida.
Um, well, I think UConn. I think UConn gonna win, man.
Do you?
I do. I'm watching a game right now. I mean, I don't have it on obviously because we have
Mm-hmm.
the show
Mm-hmm.
on, but I think UConn, Caravan, Ball.
Don't say McNeely. He's an
No,
overrated punk.
no. I say notice I say Caravan, Ball. The older kids,
Yeah.
the older ones that have been there and done that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna carry them to the top. So,
Ball's tough. What do you think about Danny as a coach? Danny Hurley. Do you like him as a coach?
I despise him but respect him. If that makes sense.
Yep, makes sense. It's kind of like Bobby Knight.
Yeah. This airs version of Bobby Knight.
Yeah. All right. There are some other good games going on today. I can't. I'll have to
Michigan
check
State.
Who's Michigan State got?
New Mexico. They have New Mexico's. They were supposed to play Marquette, and Marquette lost.
Ah, they were supposed to, huh? AJ. All right. What do you think? Let's see. UConn and Florida tied at halftime. Duke and Baylor tip off at 1:40.
Mm.
Illinois and Kentucky play at 4:15. Who do you like in that one?
Mark Pope is a good coach. I like Mark in Kentucky.
Okay. St. Mary's that you mentioned earlier, Alabama tip off at 5:10.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado State at Maryland. That would be a good game. 6:10. Colorado State's got some players.
Yeah, you do.
I watched them beat Boise State in their conference championship game. I was pretty impressed.
Yep.
What do you think about Chris Beard at Ole Miss?
I don't like him.
Why? Why not?
I know Drew worked for him, but I don't like him.
Why not?
I think he's certifiably crazy.
Because
some of the stuff he pulled at Texas Tech. I think he's certifiably crazy.
Okay. So they play.
All
right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Ole Miss at Iowa State. Who wins that game?
Iowa State.
Who wins Maryland, Colorado State?
Maryland. Maryland's pretty good.
New Mexico, Michigan State starts at 7:40 tonight.
Michigan State.
Oregon, Arizona at the last one of the day at 8:40.
I'm gonna go Arizona.
Okay. All right. What about the women? You've been following that at all, AJ?
Yeah, Green Bay is out. They played really well yesterday, but they're out.
Who did they play? Who did they lose to, AJ?
Alabama.
Okay. That was a tough day for Wisconsin's tough weekend.
Yeah, it was. I will tell you, I went to the state tournament this weekend. Though it was pretty fun.
Good.
I went to the state tournament, saw a bunch of good games. Had my family was with my family most of the weekend, so it was good.
Nice.
Took Boda's first state tournament, so it was good.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Excellente.
In the suite, no less.
You got life whooped.
Well, no, that's my brother. That's all my brother.
You're connected. You got connections. All right. Anything else for NCAA basketball?
No, we're all good. We covered it all.
Okay. I got one for you that's not any kind of basketball related. George Foreman passed away.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know? Did you ever see him fight AJ? Or are you
Not
too
in
young?
person, not live, but
Not live. Okay.
no.
I saw him later when he had his career resurgence, and it was kind of comical. But he was tough as a young man. He was really good, and he's really good. He was a
Yes,
champion in the
it was
40s.
sad. It was sad. It was sad. He's very unique in the fact he named all his kids George.
I know, boys and girls.
Yeah,
Frida
right.
George is one of them. It's just crazy. I think most people don't even know. They think the George Foreman grill. They think he's Bobby Flay or some chef or something.
Yeah, right, right.
He was a heavyweight champion. Are you a boxing guy, AJ? We've never talked boxing.
No, no, no. I don't know enough about it. Oh, I know the older fighters, but I don't know enough about today's game to discuss it.
Okay. What about um, now that Wisconsin sports fans have been drubbed and clubbed this weekend? Next up, we got the baseball. I guess is what we have to look forward to.
No, no, no. We got NBA playoffs still. Hey,
Okay, but not any Wisconsin teams.
yeah, we do.
Who?
But Bucks.
Oh, that's NBA. I'm talking college. So NBA. What do you think about the Bucks?
I love what they did last night, man. They came back on the Kings last night, late in the fourth quarter. Giannis had a big game. Dame didn't play, but that's okay because they won two in a row. By the way, ESPN. Let me get on my how for a second.
Oh gosh, here we go.
So the Bucks beat the Lakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all ESPN wanted to talk about was the fact that Bronny had 17 points.
Is Charles Barkley right?
What?
They're idiot fools over at ESPN.
Yeah, he is. All they want to talk about is Lakers and Roger. Lakers, Rogers, and that's it. Pretty much.
And yeah, well, that's enough of that. But the Bucks, I have to tell you, I went to the game last Sunday night against Oklahoma City Thunder.
That was a blowout.
It was terrible.
I felt bad for you. I legit felt bad for you.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
They both played the night before. There's no excuse there. And Oklahoma City played on the road the night before. The Bucks won at home on the road the night before.
Exactly. It was terrible.
The Bucks looked old and slow compared to Oklahoma City.
They need to get some youth. That's why I think Kuzma will help them in the playoffs.
He looked old and slow.
I know, but I'm just saying I think I'll help them in a 7-game series.
Okay. All right. Anything coming out of anything else about the NBA in general that you like? Don't like anything to say as we're getting how many regular season games are left? Do you know?
About 15. About 15.
So we're finally winding down to this interminably long season.
About 15.
All right. Anything to look for the Bucks or anybody else for the rest of the season? Are people just resting their guys now, or what's going on?
The return of BP, baby. Bobby Portis can come back for the playoffs.
Is he an important cog for the Bucks?
I think he'll have more depth because I think he'll be coming off the bench. Because I think what you'll see Kuzma start and then him come off the bench.
Is that how it should go?
Yes.
Okay. What about baseball? Anything about baseball coming up?
I'm excited for the season, man. I think we're flying under the radar.
Well, deservedly so.
I know that, but I think well, you got Bryce Harang, who's a Gold Glover, so that's one to look forward to. You got Jackson in the second year.
That's two good things. Joey O they moved to shortstop.
Joey O they moved to shortstop, and Jose Quintana is a Brewer.
Is that 100-year-old pitcher that I remember hearing about?
So the longtime Brewer nemesis.
Oh God.
Is now a Brewer.
He's got to be in his 50s. What stop telling about these. That's more depressing than anything. That they keep picking these guys off the scrap heap. Who's going to start at third for them, AJ?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
I liked Joey O at third.
Yeah, but well, they could start. They got a lot. Oh, Tyler Black probably.
And who? I don't know anything about him. Who's that?
He was in the minor leagues last year for most of the year. Um,
So younger.
Younger came up for a little bit. Played really well in the stint that he was up, but they
And
just
did he come through the Brewers? Did they get him in a trade? Who is he?
he came up through the Brewer system.
Okay. And is Yelich ever going to play again?
Yeah, he's healthy.
Yeah,
Healthy.
that's funny.
Healthy being a relative term, but yeah.
Yes. So he's going to start in right?
Yeah.
And you got Jackson, Churio, and center. Who's in left?
Let me think. Jackson, right?
Yeah. Where's Sal Frelick?
Oh yeah, Sal's in left.
Sal's in left. Is he going to be the everyday left fielder, you think?
Yeah, I think so. By the way,
like,
opening day is Thursday.
What about your buddy Reese Hopkins?
He'll start at first.
Everybody's saying he's a year removed from his bad knee injury. He's doing better.
He will tear the cover off the ball.
What about Woody?
Woody's gonna come back and pitch.
Is he going to be here for the start of the year, AJ?
They haven't said yet.
He's only had like 14 months off.
They haven't said yet.
Okay. Who's their best pitcher?
Most consistent is Freddie.
Freddie. Wade, they hit him a Miley isn't with the Brewers anymore.
He's with Cincinnati now.
Yeah. That's a big void.
Which is perfect for him because that's a band back for him. So they'll hit him a Miley there too.
Are you excited? You said you're excited. We're flying under the radar.
I'm excited. How can you not be excited? You start the season with the Yankees.
How can you not be excited? Well, there is one good thing. Do you want to know my positive note for the beginning?
What is it? What is it?
We'll finally be able to know the score if you listen to the game on the radio.
Yeah, right.
That's
excited.
big.
Well, I'm excited too because it's a big summer for me. For those who don't know, my aunt and her boy are the Cardinal fan are getting married.
I didn't know that.
In the summer. And
Nice.
I am the best man.
Oh.
So it's a big summer for me, and I'm also excited because I am planning the bachelor party. So we're going to a Brewer game. So I'm excited. So yes.
Is it a Cardinal game?
You bet it is. You bet 100% it is.
Hey, Mark, AJ is going to be a best man this summer.
Oh, nice.
Last year, he's a godfather. This year, he's the best man. You're like the most honored relative in the family.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yes, I could. I just did.
You can. I won't go that far.
I will.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. I'm excited. Excited.
Great.
Excited.
Excellent. I'm excited too. That's great. Two lovely people. Even though he's a Cardinals fan, he's still a good guy.
Yeah, right.
So good for them. Sydney and Matt. Woo! What about Uncle Randy? How's he?
Uncle Randy's good, man. It's been a minute since I've seen him, but I did see my cousin Kristen just had a baby.
Nice.
Just about 3 months ago. Named let me see.
It doesn't matter. The family is growing by leaps and bounds. For God's sake.
We got. So they got a 4-year-old and a 3-month-old named Barrett, and then my brother has a 10-month-old. So
Yeah.
Pretty soon we'll all be running around trying to
Yes.
chase little children.
Yes. Yes. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, AJ, it's that time. It is time for. Do you have any words of wisdom,
Yes, I do.
despite your heavy heart and your
I
sorrow
do.
about
I
Wisconsin sports teams?
I do.
All right, let's hear it. Today, this is the most important part of the show. AJ's advice and wisdom pulled from the world of sports that you can apply to your everyday life to improve your life. Go, AJ, go.
All right. So, if you're like me and your bracket is busted, the sky is not falling. It is not falling. You know, I have to say this, Jack. In my words of wisdom,
Okay.
I am in the 21st percentile. That ain't good. But in real retrospect, if you're in the first weekend of the tournament, well, if your team was in the tournament, whether it's the state tournament or the NCAA tournament, just enjoy the accomplishment. You realize there are 400 plus teams in the NCAA, and 72 teams in the state in Wisconsin for Division One. Do you know how many of those win?
How many?
One. And if you're in high school, there are 5 state champions. And this is more for my friends at Cedarburg because I watched them play on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Or Friday.
Friday. Yep.
Just enjoy the ride, man. The ride you guys went on was crazy. It was super fun. I mean, I'm not obviously being a Homestead guy.
Yeah.
But rooting for Cedarburg, I was openly rooting for Cedarburg on Friday, watching them play against Racine Park.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite fun. It was quite fun to know that Mel was there with Ross and Andy.
Yep.
So my point is, just enjoy the ride. You never know the connections you could have. Just enjoy the ride, and you never know how long the connections could last either. You know,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's Cedarburg or teams afforded a nice story on Iowa State because they have 2 guys from Wisconsin on their team.
Mm-hmm.
But just enjoy the stories, enjoy the ride, because you never know when it can be over. So
well said. Very well said. Yeah. Okay. Well, you talked me off the ledge. I before the show, I was thinking being a sports fan is not worth the invest. It's a poor investment.
Right.
You're going to be almost 99.9% sure you're going to be heartbroken.
Yes.
Sometimes the heartbreak comes a little earlier.
Like my brother said, typical Wisconsin sports fashion. Another heartbreaker.
But it's typical everywhere. Very few aren't heartbroken.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Hey, at least we're not Cowboy fans.
True. Very true.
Build yourself up every year to be torn down by your team. But yeah, just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's fun.
It is fun. As long as you don't get too wrapped up, which is almost impossible.
Yeah, right.
Then you want to end it all. All right. Enough of that. You're right on, AJ, as usual. Well done. Glad you knew you. I'm glad you studied up for once. Usually you're not very prepared. Today you were. So
Yep.
Much improved. Way to go.
Thank you.
So are you going to go watch the games for the rest of the day?
Yeah, UConn up 6 right now, by the way.
Oh, shit. All right. There goes my bracket. I got Florida going to the final, I think.
Yep.
Okay. All right, dude. Well, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Good luck to all the Bokinis everywhere. They are expanding Bokini empire, growing by leaps and bounds. That's fantastic.
Bokinis and Millers everywhere. Yep.
That's right. All right, dude. Don't let your dauber get down.
No.
You're right. Enjoy the ride and on to the next.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. We're heading into baseball season. Let's go. And let's
Not quite
go.
yet.
Not quite. We're heading there.
Yep.
And that's all for AJ Bo.